What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Phoenix Novell. And I want to say thank you again for joining me for another one of my Boss Bitch Tips videos. This video is called How Not to Lose Yourself in Intimate Relationships. Intimacy is a two-way street. You know, it's about you and someone else. It's about you intertwining your energy with another individual. And there's no way for you to be fully protected. You know, there's no way for you to just go in it mentally and that's it, because the purpose of it is to connect with somebody. Now, your motivation may be to, take their power, or have someone make you feel good about yourself, or just to experience what it feels like to communicate on a level that is just sexual, and it's a place of creation. It's a place where it's not static, It's about taking your energy and someone else's energy and making it become its own thing. So with my interpretation of what intimacy, sexual intimacy means, there is a very high probability of vulnerability, of you losing yourself, of you not really knowing where you end and they begin, especially if it's someone who you enjoy being intimate with, and it's someone who you actually find yourself drawn to, if you will. Now, not everybody loses themselves to the extent of like, oh my God, where you just can't function. But myself, speaking of me particularly, I have a habit of engaging intimately with people that I have a hard time getting back to me, a hard time maintaining my being and who I am. I love to be free. I love to be lost and aloof in my own projects and the things that I like to focus on. And I notice that when I'm in an intimate relationship that involves sex and involves connecting on a level that's just so much about the two of you and not just about you, I find that it kind of takes over my mind. It takes over my life to a certain extent, where I'm just kind of like wondering, just lost in the thoughts of them and the thoughts of us and the thoughts of, I'm not going to say fear, but I'm going to say just uncertainty, because you don't always know how you're going to feel about that person later, or they're going to feel about you later, or if you're not ready to let go of the intimacy and they are, or if you want more or they want more. It's one of those kind of things that plays itself out so differently, and again, you don't know. And I talked about this a little bit in the video that I did, I think, about why casual sex is a dangerous game. But it's not just casual sex where you can lose yourself. You can lose yourself in relationships where this is your partner. This is my man and this is my girl and this is who I'm with. And the more you love them or they love you, the easier I'd say it is to kind of just like incorporate us into the parts that should just be for you. So my advice and what I found useful to maintain myself whenever I want to engage in being with someone else is to be in the moment as much as possible. Experience and appreciate that sharing as much as possible without trying to do it for anything outside of that moment. Because when you're there because you want to be there. You're there because in that moment you appreciate what you're giving and what they're giving and what you're receiving. And it's just like, it doesn't have to be any more than that in that moment. And when you find yourself longing for them or longing for more or trying to define it, or losing yourself and just thinking and not able to really do much else but talk about, think about, feel about this other person is when you have to kind of force yourself to get back to you. And this can take some time. You know, it can take you limiting the amount of time you spend with the other individual, because at any given moment, one of you could say, I'm not interested in this anymore. Or for whatever reason, you might become separated or whatever. Somebody has to work over here or go here or whatever. And you just don't want to be in a situation where you're physically at a loss because you don't like the separation. Or you've been so up under this other person, or always constantly thinking about this other person, that you need to learn again how to fall in love with you again, or how to get lost in you, or how to pick up where you left off before you met them, or before you guys turned things intimate. So the best way that I found that I've been able to enjoy an intimate relationship, whether it was not necessarily my man, but somebody who I found that I had a strong connection with, is to be honest about what it is that I want, never afraid, never trying to please them so much that I lose myself, never wanting them to want me so much that I don't care about whether or not I'm really being satisfied. And this remains at a healthy stage. This ability to do that, to put yourself first in this equation of us, it's easier to do that when you don't completely go head over heels because this person is making you feel good with what they're saying or what they're doing, whatever. And so the moment you know that your mind is doing something that my mind usually would do, and just kind of think about how they saw me and how good they thought I was, and how great I was in this, and how amazing I felt being held in their arms, I would have to get back to that place of saying, I appreciate and I enjoy this time with this individual, but they are not my end all be all. This experience in this moment is what it is, and I'm fully present. But if I take you with me over here all day long, every day, then it's really going to become work to try to get yourself back to having a life of your own, having an existence of your own, because you are important. And I noticed that in those intimate relationships, whether it's your partner or whether it's just a friends with benefits kind of thing, they respect you the more you have a schedule and routine, and have something that you're doing and focusing on outside of just being with them and being up under them, no matter how good it feels. Even if people insist, oh my God, I can't wait to see you, or I wish you had more time with me. Even in that state, people respect and they crave more the ones who make sure they always carve out time for themselves. That's sacred. You got to know yourself, and you have to value and put yourself on a pedestal to attract the kind of people who do that as well for themselves, and attract the kind of people who wouldn't have a problem doing that for you as well. And that's a healthy place to be, because even though it makes you feel good and it's a great ego boost for a person to let you know how great you make them feel and how awesome they think you are, it's not the healthiest, right? It doesn't make us work on ourselves and keep ourselves at the tip-top shape, because just as people can praise us, they can try to bring us down as well. For whatever reason, they're motivated to do so. And you don't want your lofty feelings of superiority to be based on them whenever they feel like showering you with praises or something like that. So that's how I would advise boss bitches and boss bitches to be, and anyone else who's watching my channel, to maintain their power and stay in a place of independence when you engage with somebody. And you should be engaging with them because you want to experience them, not putting it on them to make you feel good, but acknowledging your part and saying, I want this as much as they seem to want this. And if you don't like it, walk away from it, regardless of how they feel about it. It's about you bringing you in full to the table, so that neither one of you complete the other person, but together you become something completely and individually powerful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.